Hello. This is part 2 of the Week in Review. I am your host, Ninja Johnny Boy. Welcome. Welcome all. I hope you're all doing nice and fantastic after the weekend, or the week. Just getting into the weekend, embracing the weekend with a great big beverage, if you will, like me. Relaxing, full relax mode, having a cool beverage. I hope everyone is well. You know, there's nothing like having a good work week, even if it's not a entirely good work week, a work week. Nonetheless, it's always good to come home after that nice long week and, you know, take your shoes off, kick back, relax. You know, even if it was a stressful work week, you know, you still kind of have that that kind of sense of accomplishment, and you know, nothing like that feeling. Something said about that feeling when you come home and come to the, you know, home sweet home, and you're just relaxing. I hope you're all doing good. You know, maybe with your family, maybe with your loved one, maybe with a friend, maybe alone. Just tuning in. Thank you. Welcome. All right, I've got a few topics here. Going back to the first story that I have at the beginning of the week, kind of opened up the week with a little bit of sadness. With the loss of the great Charlie Murphy. Many of you all know who he is and some of the things he's done. Namely, some of the funny things he's done on Dave Chappelle, recounting his life stories and encounters with Rick James, that kind of thing. Charles Quentin Murphy, born on July 12th, 1959, died sadly on April 12th, 2017. Father of 3, man, leukemia. Older brother to also the great Eddie Murphy. You probably know him a little better, but, you know, in his movies. He's got a few good ones, I'm not gonna lie. He's got a couple ones that I enjoyed. Stand-up's amazing though, earlier stand-up. Second story here, kind of better to hear this one. There was a fentanyl bust in New Westminster. And their New Westminster RCMP are happy to have had over $300,000 worth of drugs seized, firearms, and also a large amount of cash. It's a good one. It was a good one for the police down there. You know, the drugs are rampant, and there's a new chemical out there that the addicts are, you know, their bodies can't handle it, and people are dropping like flies, and it's pretty sad to see. Fentanyl is a drug that is a pharmaceutical drug, but it's used in operations, I believe, and for after operations as a painkiller. When mixed with heroin, you can increase profits greatly, and it almost works better than heroin when mixed with it. And I don't know exactly how it works, but it's killing people because it's not being used properly in wrong doses, and it's a bad thing. So it was a good story to hear that, you know, big bust to get a few people, you know, hopefully behind bars for a long time. Anyway, got a third story here. Bee worms can break down plastic. crazy scientific breakthrough. I stumbled upon, by a science researcher by the name of Pt.2, last name. She was a part-time beekeeper as well, so she cleans out her bee houses, if you will, her beehives. She noticed that there were what is called bee worms on some of the panels that she was cleaning off. So they eat the wax, is what they do. And they can break down the wax, which gives them that, I guess it's an enzyme that they developed, where they can break down heavier and heavier wax, and now they can break down plastic. It's been discovered. She put the worms in a plastic bag, and when she returned, they had eaten through the plastic and escaped. It's crazy. If we can utilize the one enzyme, hopefully we can get rid of a lot of plastic in return. I don't know exactly the steps, but that's the idea. Okay, fourth story here is kind of funny. Snowfall in late April in Winnipeg. It's you never expect that, and it's kind of funny because I'm a BC guy and we joke about it all the time. They get the worst winters. It's Winnipeg weather is crazy. Right now, I'm looking right now, and it's 0 degrees. Okay. I mean, the province itself, Manitoba, is a really bad province for bad weathers. They'll get snowfalls as early as October, maybe even earlier, and then they'll have snowfalls up until like now, April, end of April. It's kind of crazy. Glad I never lived there, and I probably will never live there. It's kind of funny. RCMP kind of made a little joke there saying, we're recruiting. Yeah, come here, to BC. Where obviously the weather is very grand. Take pride in how much better my weather is compared to some of my relatives that live, further east, like Saskatchewan, Alberta. And I grew up in Alberta. Winters weren't that bad, but they were, cold. Winters in BC are, kind of laughable in that sense. Anyway, moving on to the last story I covered here was the cocaine bust in Toronto. Border agents from Toronto Pearson Airport were caught with a huge amount of cocaine. There was a lot of, I think there was a bribe made to these officers, but a lot of cocaine got into Canada, and it slipped under everybody's noses because, well, guess what? There were some insiders on the operation, and they were, border agents. And it's kind of crazy to hear. I'm not going to get into it too much, but I will say that the people that are protecting our borders from this kind of shit, it's like, come on, guys. That's something you don't do. That is something you don't do. Anyway, for me, I had a great week. It's been a great weather, and it's always good to see the changing of the seasons. Anyway, tell me how you guys are doing, the weather out where you're at. That's all I got for this time around. I wish you all a great weekend. This concludes part 2 of the Weekend Review. I'm your host, Ninja Johnny Boy, signing off, as always. Take care, folks. Have a great weekend, whether you're relaxing with family, maybe having a dinner, depending on the weather, maybe even having a barbecue. The main thing is, don't sweat the small stuff, and just have a great time. Anyway, take care, ladies and gentlemen.